Beth Lowery, Vice President, Environment, Energy, and Safety Policy for General Motors.
Tell us what some of the challenges of meeting in any of the CO2 specifications are.
Well, General Motors is very dedicated to reducing emissions, improving fuel economy, and that all has to do with the emissions of CO2. And in order to do that, we have to have a whole broad portfolio of technologies. The challenges are if the regulations come in before that technology is ready for our customers and ready for the market. So what we're doing today is making sure we have on the road flex fuel vehicles, for example, whether it's in Brazil or Sweden or the United States, working very hard on hybrids, which also help to reduce CO2, improve fuel economy, and then of course fuel cells. So we're working on all these various technologies to meet the CO2 requirements, but also to meet customer requirements. And so in order to do that, you want to do it in an orderly way. So if CO2 regulations come in before that technology is ready, then it really impacts the products we can produce and provide for our customers.
Are you looking at power to weight ratio as a way to get fuel economy down?
Well, as people know, we're looking at everything. We're looking at the entire vehicle, the size of our vehicles, the weight of our vehicles, the propulsion systems that will go into those vehicles, design. So we need to look at all of the various aspects of the vehicle and be able to produce the vehicle that customers really want to buy in markets across the world, in addition to meeting regulations. So lightweight materials is very important. You bring up a very good question with respect to what customers want, though. A lot of the added weight is because people are interested in the added entertainment value. We also add a number of safety requirements that add weight. So our job is to balance all of those factors in order to meet the customer requirements and also to meet CO2 regulations.
If you make cars that CARB or even the Congress say should be 35 miles to the gallon right now, would it be cost prohibitive to the customer? Could you make it and sell it, or could you not make it, but it would be cost prohibitive?
It's very challenging in order to do the right balance here. So in many areas it is very expensive and customers would not be able to buy the same vehicle that they buy today. Other situations we can come up with technologies that would be able to get into certain vehicles and meet certain requirements. But again, General Motors has a broad portfolio of vehicles, so it isn't one size fits all. So we need to work on all these various options. Those numbers are very challenging, and so some vehicles would not be available for sale if some of those requirements go through.
I just talked to the Deputy Director of CARB, Tom Kakat, and they have they want a waiver from the government for to mandate greenhouse gas emissions, and they want it by 2009. Have you had time to actually implement this? Would you be able to implement it by 2009?
Well, as you know from our business, lead times are very important. So 2009 is a very challenging time for us. And I know all of that's in play with respect to EPA waiver and discussions within the judicial system as well. So that will play out.
He also talked about ethanol and the fact that they, in California, want lower carbon fuel and will mandate E85 pumps in California. Now, that would be perfect for your business if CARB would give credits for flex fuel vehicles. It seems that, is that something that they're not doing under their plan?
There is no credit right now for E85 unless it's used, as I understand some of the rules. So it's very important to get the E85 infrastructure in place, not only in California, but across the country. So we have been working very hard, as you know, to bring the products to market. So we have 2.5 million vehicles on the road today that can run on E85 ethanol. We're also working state by state to try to get more E85 stations in the various states so our customers have ready access to that fuel, which we think is the most important thing to displace petroleum. It's not the only solution, but it's certainly a piece of it. So anything California or any of the other country or states or countries, frankly, for that matter, can do to encourage ethanol, not only production but distribution, be very helpful to our customers and to all of us to try to, really address the petroleum issues.
It's been my understanding that part of the reason that this flex fuel came about was because you were getting credits for it, and some of the technology that you have been developing, that General Motors has been spending their money on, has been developed because you do get credits from the government with CAFE and for other reasons. If they don't give those credits, it almost doesn't make sense for you to try this technology.
It's very important to have the government be a partner with a lot of this. So consumer incentives are important. You're right, some of the flex fuel vehicles initially were produced because CAFE did give credit for those. That was an incentive that worked because the products are on the road today. We do need to continue to incentivize the production, distribution of the fuel, and then also continue with the incentives and partnerships and with government, again, around the world so that we can get some advanced technology on the road. When you're bringing out new technologies, customers have to make sure that it's affordable for them as well. And so how you do that is try to balance that with consumer incentives.
Just like the government gives oil companies incentives to put ethanol pumps in their gas stations.
Yes, there's some incentives for ethanol pumps, and there's incentives across the board in this country for a lot of different things. And it's important, for example, on fuel cells and the hydrogen infrastructure. That's going to come about if working together we are making sure that it's something that's available to our customers.
Beth Lowery, thank you very much.
Thank you.